Jacob in the house. Come on in. Anthony Arrington's in the house. Give me a couple minutes, guys. I'm getting myself situated. Come on in, grab your coffee. Grab your coffee, guys. Grab your coffee. Let me put that mic right there. Guys, grab your coffee, man. Have a sip. Take a couple sips. I know some of you guys hate that sound. Slurping coffee. Sarita's in the house. Good morning. Good morning. You're just getting off work. Hopefully you had a great day. Getting ready to enjoy your weekend. Let's go, guys. I don't know, I feel like I'm all over the place this morning. I don't know how this show is going to turn out. It is what it is. I think I need to change my glasses, guys. Give me a second. All right, I am back. Oh, these are better. You know when you haven't worn some glasses in some time. Black Mom, my brother Menard is in the house. My brother. Come on in. Guys, come on in. Let's get rocking this morning. I don't know how this show is going to go. Let me make sure everything is right. Let me make sure everything is right before we kick off this show, because, you know, sometimes you just got to feel a certain way, and that music was getting me right. Let me take a deep breath. There we go. I'm ready now, guys. I am ready. Good morning. Let's see who's all in the house this morning. We got Jacob Smalls, who's in the house. Let me put him on the chat bar to make sure my technology is working. There we go. Jacob Smalls in the house. Welcome, my man. Anthony Arrington is in the house. Sarita is in the house. Black Mons is in the house. Our brother Maynard is in the house. Blackavelli is coming to us from Qatar. Man. It's probably late over there where you are, but thank you for joining us this morning, guys. I got a good show for us this morning. We're going to talk about 4 topics this morning. We're going to hit on 4 topics. And you guys saw the thumbnail. No more excuses. What I'm going to bring to you today, the articles that I'm going to bring to you today, is about how you can get into tech and how you can get to this money. Starting with the first article, from homeless to tech careers. People went from homelessness to having tech careers making money. If that doesn't tell you that you could be doing it, I don't know what else will. I can get on here every single Saturday morning and continue to try to motivate you, continue to put you in a path, continue to give you the exposure to make a move, and bring you articles like these that are showing people who are getting into the tech field. But if you don't believe it, that's on you. Second article we're going to hit on is how 4 tech workers made more money by job hopping. How they made more money by job hopping. I can't even say it the right way. By job hopping during the Great Resignations. That's what we're going to do. We're going to hit on that subject as well, too, because job hopping can get you guys to the money. It can get you to the money. The next one, we're going to talk about big tech salaries, guys. Big tech salaries. So we're going to hit on that. We always talk about getting to the money and how much money you could be earning in tech. And I want to give you guys some exposure to what some of the top companies are paying within tech itself and how much money you could be earning as well if you were to get into tech. And last but not least, we're going to hit on side hustles, because when you start to make a good amount of money, you can invest it into yourself, invest it into a side business. Many people during the Great Resignation in the pandemic started side hustles that are outpacing their current salaries. That's where you ultimately want to be. That may not be for everyone, but that's where you ultimately want to be if you have a side hustle. So those are going to be the 4 topics that we're going to touch on today. But before we do that, I had a great week of coaching calls. I traveled this week. It was a busy week. Many of you Patreon members of mine know that I didn't drop a video this week. Well, I didn't drop a video specifically because we had the mind share on last Sunday before I flew out. But I flew to Denver, then I flew to Atlanta for a quick 12-hour trip and flew back to Austin. So, guys, my schedule is it's crazy right now because of this new role, but it's fantastic. But it's just a lot more demands. And until May 1st, when I can completely drop my previous job, it's going to be, it's taking some time from out of me to get back on a schedule that is consistent. So I'll continue to do the Saturday shows. I continue to drop content on the Patreon because you guys are looking for it, and I'm going to continue to do that. Just bear with me while I'm trying to get my schedule aligned with this new job and everything else that's going on in life. That's what happens. But I thank you all for your support and always asking what can you do to chip in for the Black Heights community. So let's start the show off with this. We're going to start the show off with this. I want to give shout outs to a Patreon community, to the folks that I've coached this week on successes, because successes should be celebrated. Successes should be celebrated because what it does is it motivates others to have success, to push for success. It elevates others as well too. Brother Cavito, Kevin, he's in QA working for a big time company. He basically put himself out there on the market after last Saturday's show. He put himself out there on the market, got his first interview, and he's interviewing for it to learn about the new position and what they're going to pay him, potentially may pay him. But he's also asking his manager and telling his manager that he wants to be a manager to help to get him in the position to manage one day. Therefore, he's going to increase his earnings. He's making moves, guys. He's getting certifications, guys. Brother Cavito, good, and a big shout out to you. We got another one that I want to shout out to, Brother Marvin. Brother Marvin is a CSM. He wants to become a CSM, a customer success manager. Many of you don't know what that is. It's a hybrid role of sales, implementation, support, and so forth. Great role, and he wants to become a CSM. So he's in school right now, putting in the work, getting certifications to become a CSM. And this week, he passed the LinkedIn certification for project management, because when you're a CSM, you're going to have project management skills, because every task that you're going to have, it's going to be a mini little project. So he's putting in the time to gain those skills while he's in college so that he can hit the ground running as a CSM and have a CSM job lined up by the time that he graduates. So shout out to Brother Marvin on that one. We want to shout out to Brother Joshua Faison, who's in sales. He's a electrical engineer. He used to work for a big company, Toyota, but now he did a job transition and get into sales to help him increase his earnings. Well, him and his beautiful wife just welcomed their firstborn, their daughter Yavnel, on last Saturday, sometime I think it was in the morning or the afternoon, it was one of them. But let's congratulate brother Joshua on their firstborn. And we're proud of you, man. We're definitely proud of you. Congrats to you and your wife on the birth of your beautiful daughter, brother. And then let's hit on this one. Our brother Malik, who never sleeps, guy sends me text messages at or Discord messages at 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night. Him just completing tests. He just passed his CompTIA Network Plus certification. Crushed it, got a passing grade on the exam, and got his certification this morning that he just sent to me. Let's give a shout out to brother Malik for passing the Network Plus certification. Let's also shout out brother Maynard. Brother Maynard was a teacher. He was a teacher. He graduated from university, was a teacher, and he found the Black Heights channel by doing some searching in the algorithm and so forth. But needless to say, I work with brother Maynard to look into a sales career because that's where he wanted to go. Now he is in insurance sales and he's crushing it. And he gave his first presentation in front of the entire organization that he works for last week, and he absolutely crushed it. And he sent me the video, he even put it on his LinkedIn, and it was a big deal because he crushed the interview, and it's going to give him more confidence to do, or not interview, presentation. It's going to give him more confidence to continue to do presentations, continue to refine his pitch, and so forth. So let's shout out to brother Maynard on having a fantastic presentation and being prepared for that, man. That's the thing. In order for you to crush a presentation, you have to be prepared to do it. And he put in the time and the effort to get it done, and he got it done. Congratulations, brother Maynard. All right, so I wanted just to shout those out. I'm sure there were others, and I apologize if I missed anything. But guys, as you know, the Black Heights community is all about, continue to elevate, continue to ladder climb, continue to push each other forward, continue to, get to the bag. And ultimately, I want to hear and see the successes that you're having. Have a bunch of coaching calls set up for today, a couple coaching calls set up for tomorrow and into next week as well, too, where I'm helping people to increase their earning potential. So guys, if you're looking to do the exact same thing, book a coaching session on the Black Heights website, www.blkheights.com, or become a Patreon member. Great community, 67 of us and growing, all either into tech or looking into tech or into college, trying to find our way, ladder climbing and so forth. A great community that I'm very proud of because they continue to deliver results that I just shared with you guys today. All right. Let's jump into the first topic. Of today. And we're going to talk about this article. And I haven't even had a chance to read this one yet. It's been such a crazy week, but we're going to get onto it. I saw the article, the headline of it, and I'm like, all right, well, this is it, guys. I mean, this is literally it. And let me hit on this real quick. Why is that not changing? Let's do this. I'm going to put myself back here. And then we're going to get my technology right because my technology doesn't want to work right now. 1 second. There we go. All right, better. And you guys can see that I'm sweating, guys. I got up this morning at 7, or not 7, but at 6 to get a run in. I need to focus more on my eating habits and being consistent with my workouts. With everything that's going on, of course, that's an area in my life that has not shined at all. Matter of fact, I need to enhance my discipline in that area, which is the reason why after we move to New Braunfels this upcoming month in May, I'm going to seek out a coach to help me with my fitness and to get my fitness back on track because I need discipline there, guys. That's the importance of coaching. When you are slipping in some areas of your life, you should be seeking a coach to get some help. And I realized that by being completely in tune to who I am as a person and what I need to accomplish in my life. And right now, with everything that's going on, with managing 2 jobs, running a business, being a husband, being a father, doing a lot of travel, I realized that fitness is important, but my discipline in the fitness area has not been very productive. So I'm hiring in a coach to get me back into a state to where I'm going to be more confident in myself and so forth. So importance of coaching, guys. That's important of coaching. But I did get up this morning and get my run in, and I'm still sweating from it. So let's get into the first subject. The first subject is from homeless to tech careers. Meet 4 San Franciscans who pulled themselves out of despair with tech training, landing jobs at companies like LinkedIn and Apple, guys. Homeless to tech careers. No excuses. 2022 is a year where we don't have excuses. That's the motto in the Black Heights Network. We get it done. No excuses. No excuses. I can say, you know what, I'm gaining weight and not choose to do anything about it. I'm not going to have any excuses. I'm going to get my butt up and get stuff done. Hire a coach and get it done. If you want to get into tech and you don't know where to start, you should be watching a channel like this or talking to people, reading articles like this instead of spending your time on live streams that doesn't count and doesn't benefit you in the long term of your career or in your life. So, no excuses 2022. And if you can go from being homeless into tech, making money, guys, there's no excuse for you. There's no excuse for you. But let's jump into this. Some 18,000 people are homeless in San Francisco, according to the city's health department. Some say gentrification by prosperous tech industry is a big contributor. Tech always wants to be the solution with free training and services like Wi-Fi. With $5,500 in Dama, Tibri's bank account, the single mother of 2 moved from Fresno, California to San Francisco in November 2017. She was a regional manager for the Veterans Affairs telephone operators, but since she voluntarily relocated, she wasn't given a relocation stipend to help with moving expenses. When we got to San Francisco, it was not enough, Tibri said of her savings. Not at all. Unable to afford the upfront fees needed to secure an apartment, she lived out of a hotel. And within 2 weeks, her savings were gone. And she found herself with a shelter with her 2 children. She found herself in a shelter with her 2 children. Guys, $5,500 in the bank. Make a big move. Go to San Francisco, one of the most expensive cities in the world. Has to live in a hotel, burnt through her savings, 2 children. What's your excuse? What's your excuse? At the time, her daughter was 5 and her son was 3 months. She picked up extra income through social services work programs, including filing papers for a nonprofit and working as a security guard at a flea market. The extra income was still not enough. She hustling though. That's the thing. She hustling. She's not down and out. She's not sitting on YouTube listening to garbage, listening to things that are meaningless. She says, okay, well, you know what? I have 2 kids to feed. I need to go out there and find something to hold myself over. But it still isn't enough. It's in San Francisco. Tibri is one of thousands of ambitious people who moved to San Francisco only to end up homeless after bouts with illness. Let me read that over. My apologies, guys. Tibri is one of thousands of ambitious people who moved to San Francisco only to end up homeless after bouts with illness, a traumatic event, or a simple bad luck. San Francisco's housing supply is famously limited and expensive. The average rent for a 1-bedroom in the city is about $3,300, according to the data from Apartment List, more than double the national average of $1,600. Yes, it is expensive. I lived in the Bay Area for a year after we came back from KL. I'm gonna tell you like this. We moved into a 1,300 square foot house that we rented for a year, and our mortgage or our rent was $4,300. It was a small house, but it was comfortable, but it was expensive. Very, very expensive. The city's homelessness situation has reached crisis levels in recent years, prompting fierce debates over the best solution. Because of the coronavirus pandemic, the city hasn't conducted an official point-in-time count of homeless people since 2019. That count identified as 8,000. That's a lot of people that's homeless, guys. While many blame the prosperous tech industry and the gentrification it brings as a major instigator of homelessness, tech has always become a way out for some. Nonprofits and tech companies in the Bay Area have joined forces to help get people without any previous tech skills gained and train them they train them to get into high-paying tech jobs. And these programs offer free code training, Wi-Fi availability, a job training programs, and so forth. And while this is not a solution for everyone, people involved with such programs tell Insider the efforts have helped some homeless people land jobs at Apple, LinkedIn, Momentive, and Facebook. Meta, they say. From streets to a job at LinkedIn. Preston Fon spiraled into depression after a good friend of his died by suicide. It really took a toll on me, Fon said. No one really understood me, and I just kind of crumpled up. Guys, I'm gonna say it like this, right? There's gonna be programs out there for many of the other genders, but for men, a lot of this stuff it isn't offered. It isn't offered. It isn't offered at all. And a lot of us have to, take the bull by the horn and create for ourselves, or either join communities where there's help being offered to men. And they exist out there. They do exist out there. It just seems like it's harder to find. But Fawn was living in Washington with his older brother and his brother's girlfriend, now wife, until his brother had a heart attack or a heart-to-heart with him. They were trying to start a family and move forward, Fawn said. They couldn't have me just marinating in the living room, looking really depressed all the time. Just before his friend's death, he was studying programming through a boot camp called Coding Dojo. I figured the first place to go would be San Francisco, he said. That's what I thought would be where the tech industry is. So in December 2016, he moved to San Francisco with $250 in his account. The first 3 nights, he slept beneath the stairs of a house under construction, and he then bounced between the streets and shelters, learning that people who often waited in line for hours to get into the shelter. Even if you get in, you're only really guaranteed a bed, he said. You might be sleeping in a chair. Guys, it's tough out here. It's tough out here for some people. It is tough out here for some people, guys. If you're going through depression or anything like that, and you don't have a place to go or a path, you need to get some help. You definitely need to get some help. But when you start to pull yourself up and you get the help that you need, realize there are resources that are out here. We talk about them on this channel. We talk about them, through articles, that you can get the training that you need in order for you to get into tech and make a good living for yourself. And these are stories of individuals who've gone through some rough times, picked themselves up, and just executed without any damn excuses. So, after 4 months of shelter, Fawn came to realize he wasn't alone in his troubles. They were kind of lifting me out of this depression, and my life started to feel more meaningful, he said. They were sharing similar stories about their sadness and how they're trying to get over it. He also began to go into therapy to process his grief. You don't really know you need therapy until you actually go, he said. Fawn had heard of a job readiness nonprofit program called Code Tenderloin before moving to San Francisco. After he moved there, he visited the nonprofit only to find out the program wasn't going to start for another 16 days. He completed an interview that ensured he was committed to it, and a week later he was accepted and dived deeper into coding. The program is meant to help people who may have barriers that prevent them from getting a job, getting back on their feet, Fawn said. They try to break down barriers. Code Tenderloin has 115 volunteers from the tech industry who are tasked with helping people who might have zero computer literacy get certificates in Google Technologies, Microsoft Office. They also teach website coding skills such as HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. The program also teaches people how to tell their stories in interviews and prepare for work in a corporate setting. So guys, it's all the stuff that we talk about on this channel. Getting the education, getting the help, seeking help, right? Preparing for the interview process, understanding how to sell yourself. These are resources that exist out there. And the program partnered with big tech companies, including Twitter, LinkedIn, Slack, GitHub, and Airbnb, so its students can visit their office and network with people who work in the jobs they aspire to get themselves into. This was how Fawn got a job at LinkedIn as a junior software engineer. I was actually able to talk to a few people at LinkedIn where I shared my story of being homeless, and they actually resonated with that. He said that LinkedIn has just started its Reach Apprenticeship program, which seeks to give opportunities to people from diverse backgrounds. He was also granted housing through the program. He said his experience with homelessness helped him become a better software engineer. You have to be a problem solver, he said. You have to never give up, really, no matter how many times you fail. He now works at Apple as a developer. I'm super proud of being a part of this team, he said. Guys, no excuses. No excuses. And here's a piece of it, right? If they can do it, I can do it. That's the message here that I want to resonate with you all who have been on the fence about getting into tech, or if you can do it, you can. There's a job out here in tech for every one of us. You can do it. Just put in the work and get it done. These are stories of individuals who are, some people would say, down and out. I'm like, if you go to, any of these big cities, I live in Austin, and there's homeless population here, absolutely terrible. But if you see individuals that are homeless, you kind of look at them as they're down and out. They're in a bad situation. But just imagine if they can, people who once were homeless can turn their life around to get into tech and make a living for themselves, what you can do. Many of you already have a job. Many of you aren't struggling like this. Many of you haven't seen friends die or had friends die on you, or haven't had many issues that you've gone through. And if you have, as Fawn mentioned, you got to seek therapy. But ultimately, when you get out of that state, you can find yourself getting paid a lot of money. And that's why I wanted to bring this article to you, because again, no excuses in 2022, guys. No excuses in 2022. Examples of individuals who have put in the work and got it done. Examples of individuals who have put in the work and have got it done. And I'm going to drop this article in the chat for you guys so that you can read a little bit more into it. There's quite a bit of people that they're talking about here, 4 individuals, and I'm not going to hit on every single 4, but I wanted you to see that you can do it, guys. You can do it. All right. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. We're going to move on to the next one. Give me a second. Let me do a quick switch back to my screen. The next article we're going to talk about is job hopping, guys, because in coaching, many of you asked, Antoine, how can I earn a higher salary? I was talking to a good brother of ours on yesterday, and he was talking about how much money he's making today and how there isn't a path to make more money at the company that he's at. There isn't a path to make more money at the company he's at, and he's just come to this realization. So he's like, Antoine, what do I do? Should I stay, stick it out? No, you shouldn't stay if there is not a path for you to get to where you ultimately want to get to. Again, guys, your career, the amount of money that you make is your responsibility. I'll repeat that. It's your responsibility. Nobody's going to give it to you. You have to ask. You have to put yourself in a position to create opportunities and to get opportunities. And ultimately, you will be getting paid what you should be getting paid. But it starts with you, not saying, okay, well, they're just giving this to me and you being happy with it. Ask for more. Continue to ask for more. That's what we talk about in our coaching sessions a lot of the times. Ask for more. If you don't ask, nobody's going to give it to you. If you don't toot your own horn, nobody's going to toot your own horn. You think when you're driving down the street and somebody cuts you off, somebody is going to reach over and push your horn? No, you have to do that. So you have to toot your own horn. You have to talk about the things that are going to make you more valuable to companies. And they're going to be like, you know what? You're right. You deserve this position. You deserve this money. We're going to pay you. Take it from somebody who's continuously done this within his career. And it's not difficult. It's using your soft skills, building relationships, having a good understanding of people, being really good at what you do, and then executing on it, guys. And guys, I know there's chats coming in, but I'm just going to hit these topics and then I'll get to the chats at the end of it. And I appreciate each and every one of you if you've donated and left a super chat. I saw a couple of them come up. I will definitely get to those by the end of the show. I will definitely get to those by the end of the show, and I appreciate each and every one of them. Okay, so let's jump into this next topic here. Next topic is, let me get my screen. Job hopping. How 4 tech workers capitalized on the Great Resignation and scored higher salaries by jumping companies, with one doubling their pay to $400,000.
Damn!
One doubling their salary to $400,000.
Damn!
I was listening to a show yesterday. It was Brother Anton Daniel's show. Me and my son, we were going to get the boat because we went boating yesterday. I did a half day on Friday, and my son and myself, my son likes to tag along. I taught him how to pump gas. I brought him with me to learn how to pay for things in convenience stores, and we went and got the boat and so forth. And we went to pick up the girls. But when we were driving, I was listening to Anton Daniels. It was that time in the morning. And it was towards the end of the show, and they were talking about how tech, pays people very well. And obviously Anton Daniels is into tech and so forth as well. And many of the people that follow him are into tech as well. But it was a gentleman that was saying that tech doesn't pay, what salaries that we're talking about in some of these articles or at all, right? Because he isn't getting paid like that. I'm going to tell you like this. You guys have seen how much money you can make in tech, not just from the articles, but if you have watched any of my videos where I've shared pay stubs or W-2 statements or had a coaching call with me. I mean, you're talking about $500,000 a year. And that's just me in tech sales. And I know people who are making a lot more money than that. A lot more money than that. So you can make a shitload of money in tech. And when they say that one person can double their pay to $400,000, it is accomplishable. You can do it. Now, does that happen to everybody? Absolutely not. And it won't. Because many people don't know how to ask for it. And many people don't know what to do. But if you want to do that, create a path, create a plan, and execute on it. And it can happen for you. So let's jump to this article. Luis Boreas Tron felt lucky to receive $102,000 offer when she joined the company Sage Interact as a business analyst in April 2020. But that feeling didn't last. It got many people in the Patreon or who I've coached who want to be a business analyst, a data analyst, and so forth. You see that you can become a business analyst and you can be making $102,000. Maybe you're making only $60,000 right now. That's a big jump. When she checked her salary on Glassdoor 2 years later, she said her wage was in the bottom half of what people were making at the company. It seemed that new hires arriving since she first joined it were scoring significantly higher pay and titles than current employees as a result of increasingly competitive recruiting landscape and skyrocketing market pay rates, a problem that reached critical mass since the so-called Great Resignation. So when Boreas Tron saw a former colleague post a job opening at the software company NVIDIA, she didn't hesitate to apply. She landed the job as a data scientist in December 2021, and her salary jumped by 30%. Guys, I'm going to tell you again. If you don't like what you're being paid, put yourself out there on the market. Be like Brother Cabito, who's like, you know what? Antoine says, let me go and test this market because I could be getting paid more money. Apply. What's the worst that's going to happen? They're going to say no? What's the best thing that's going to happen? You're going to land a job and be making 30% more, 50% more, 100% more. If you're not happy with the salary that you're making, it's on you to fix that. How can you fix that? Ask for more inside your company. How can you fix that? Put yourself out there on the market. Apply for jobs. Apply for jobs. She did it. Landed a job, 30% more. 30% more. Boreas Tron's story is just one example of how the Great Resignation is paying out in the tech industry. Current and former employees at firms as big as Google, Amazon, and Microsoft tell Insider they feel undervalued and underpaid. And with companies holding bigger budgets for new hires than raises, and still struggling to adjust compensation, employees are finding that switching companies is the best way to score better pay. For some tech workers, making a switch has allowed them to more than double their salaries. Some said they highlighted their skills to move into higher paying roles in their field, where others pointed out it's a great time to tap into your network or get recruited. I'm telling you like this, guys. I'm telling you like this. I get hit every single day by a recruiter to run a sales organization. I get tapped on the shoulder every single day by tech recruiters to run sales organizations. And I'm going to tell you like this. These aren't roles that are paying $100,000. These are roles with OTEs of $350,000. If you don't know what OTE is estimated earnings, right? It's if you were to hit your sales quota and based on your base salary, this is how much you can earn. And I'm telling you like this, it pops up every single day in my LinkedIn. Tapped on the shoulder, Antoine, would you consider this? Would you consider this? No, I'm not ready for that. I don't want to do that. But the point of me saying that is that tech companies are recruiting talent and they're willing to pay you a lot of money. So open yourself up to the opportunities, guys, if you're not happy with how much money you're being paid. Open yourself up to the opportunities. All right, let's continue on. Tech workers are being recruited more often than ever, making networking easier. Tech hiring is drastically increasing with the recruiting analytics from Data People telling Insider that the tech job posts nearly doubled to 900,000 in 2021. Meanwhile, the firm says the average number of available applicants shrank by 25% because some of us don't have skills. And I'm trying to tell you guys, if you're working in the warehouse and you think working in the warehouse is a career, you should be switching over to tech. You can become part of the pool of resources. Let me say that again because I stuttered over myself. You could become part of the pool of tech resources, making a killing. Something that your mom didn't do, something that your dad didn't do, something that your uncle didn't do, because if they did, they would have told you that you can be making a lot of money in tech. Matter of fact, I was in the airport the other day, and there was high school students who just had competed in DECA, whatever that is. I forgot what DECA is, but it's the high school national conference on all sorts of stuff. And there were some guys that were in front of me from Wisconsin, and I knew they were from Wisconsin because one of the guy had a cow hat on, and it said DECA, Wisconsin, and blah, blah, blah. So I got in a quick conversation with them, and, you know, they were talking, before I got in the conversation, they were talking about how, you know, their fathers or worked for AT&T and tech, and they were saying all sorts of stuff that I just thought was completely just erroneous, right? But they don't know. They're young kids that just had no idea, no clue, because their mom and dad probably didn't tell them, or their mom and dad wasn't making a whole bunch of money. But anyway, they were talking about, you know, how these positions make more money than these positions. And I'm just like, and they were talking about like $100,000, right? I'm talking about, oh, my dad makes like 170. I'm like, man, your dad is making some good money in my head. But if he's making $170,000, there's levels to this shit, bro. Like, maybe you should be talking to somebody who's making $500,000 if you want to potentially be there. Nothing wrong with your dad making 170. That is absolutely fine, and that's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful, but there's levels to it. And there's levels to it. And that's the reason why I think many of us don't strive to hit those higher salaries, because nobody in our families have done it. And nobody in our families had said that you can do it. Well, I'm telling you as Uncle Antoine today that you can fucking do it. You can do it. And I've shown that you can do it. And I've shared it with you that you can do it. If I can do it, I know you can do it. If I can do it, I'm going to tell you like this. If I can do it, I know you can do it. All right, but let's continue on. Tech workers are being recruited more often than ever, making networking easier. Tech hiring is drastically increasing with the recruiting analytics. I read that already. I'm all over the place, guys. Sorry. As a result, employees at top companies say they're being recruited more than ever, and that hiring process have gotten easier. And after responding to a recruiter's LinkedIn message, for example, one former employee at a well-known big tech company was able to double his salary from $200,000 to $400,000. Guys, after responding to a recruiter's LinkedIn message, for example, one former employee for a well-known big tech company was able to double his salary from $200,000 to $400,000, guys. Damn! What's more, he said the interview process was easier than ever. He asked to remain anonymous because the company didn't authorize him to speak with the press. I'm gonna tell you like this, guys. Matter of fact, many of you guys just, you don't believe that people are getting opportunities. I'm gonna just give you guys access to, a quick messages that I get from recruiters almost on a daily basis, right? Of, different positions, right? Different positions and so forth that overachieve on their 300K OTE, right? These are positions where people are literally coming my way saying, Antoine, we want to give you this job. We want to set up time with you, blah, 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 300, 350 on some of these roles to run sales organizations, right? High growth. These come in just about every single day, guys. Every single day. 300, 350K OTE, right? We're not talking about, $100,000. We're talking about a little bit more than that. And 100,000 is perfect. It's perfect. That's perfect. But I want you to know that once you get there, you're going to want more. And that's what ladder climbing is about, is getting more. Taking the steps to get more. Continue to do more. Increase your value. Increase your skills. All right, we're back. And he responded just to a recruiter because recruiters are tapping people on the shoulder every single day. Every single day. So good offers have become even more tempting for employees, especially as some tech companies implement controversial moves like mandatory in-office policies. And with their coworkers leaving for other firms, it's gotten easier for tech workers to use their networks to find new roles. Sania El Arman, a product manager at a well-known payments company, said she started talking to past colleagues on LinkedIn and through her school's alumni network to find out about job openings that could help her make more money. She said that the networking combined with highlighting the technical skills like Python and JavaScript she learned along the way is what helped her switch jobs for a lucrative pay boost earlier this year. Her salary is now $186,000 compared to the $132,000 she was making in the same role at MasterCard. Look at that. Damn! $132,000, $186,000 just by tapping into her network, putting herself out there in the market, and accepting a new role. No excuses, guys. No excuses. If you aren't happy with your pay, it's on you. It's on you. It's on you. We're done with this article now. I'm not going to go do it, but I'm going to send it and I'm going to give it to you guys into the chat as well so that you can read the rest of it. Boom. Boom. There we go. All right. We're going to hit on big tech salaries. You know I love to talk about this, guys. You know I love to talk about this. What you could be getting paid. What you be getting paid. What you can be getting paid. Oh, my brain sometimes just works all kinds of ways. Big U.S. tech companies have powered their way through the pandemic, posting impressive growth, minting money, and hiring rapidly. In July of last year, the Tech Industry Association CompTIA reported that the sector experienced job growth in 10 out of the previous 12 months, a standout performance given the lockdowns last year. Tech firms added more than 80,000 workers in the U.S. through the first half of 2021, it added. Google's parent company Alphabet hired more than 40,000 employees in the second quarter alone. Overall, more than 300,000 open tech jobs were posted in June, with software and app developers, IT support specialists, project managers, systems engineers, architects, system analysts in high demand. And all these jobs, guys, all these roles, because they are careers, they're roles. If you are interested in them, all you got to do is research. All you got to do is research. There's a role out here for everybody. You can talk to Kev IT support and become an IT tech specialist. You can talk to brother Master IT, and talk to him about becoming an engineer, a network engineer, an IT support specialist. You can talk to brother Engineering Cannabis, and he can help you become a data scientist, a data analyst. You can talk to brother PBO, and he can help you get your foot in the door in cybersecurity and give you a quicker way to do it and to get to the bag. There's many people in our network that you can tap into that will help you realize what it is that you want to become. And all it does is start with you doing the research and talking to people. But let's get to the tech salaries, guys. Google software engineers can make more than $300,000. Damn! A software engineer was offered $353. A vice president of engineering can get $475, and a senior vice president recently took an annual salary of $650. Damn! You get to a software engineer role, you're making $353,000 a year. That's a lot of money, man. But don't give up. Unless you got plans to retire early, man, don't give up, man. Don't make that $353,000 and be like, oh, I'm done. I don't want to do anything else. You know, 353 is perfect for me and my lifestyle, yada yada yada. Because that's the same mindset that people have when they first make their 100, right? And I realized that is that they get that and they be like, okay, I'm a six-figure guy or gal. Nobody in my family has done this, so I'm comfortable. I'm gonna stay at this job and, I'm gonna make it work. But in today's world with inflation, it's not a lot of money. That's not a lot of money, guys. So continue to seek more. And you can see that as you continue to climb the ladder, you're gonna make more. That's why we talk about ladder climbing. You continue to make more. So guys, you become a senior VP. It doesn't have to be for Google either. $650,000. Damn! And these are the people that you're walking next to in your local grocery store. They don't got, bling bling on their arms. They may have a nice car, Range Rover, Land Rover. They ain't riding around here in no Bentley, right? But you think they don't have any money. Yet, this is an annual salary of $650,000, but that doesn't talk about the bonus. That's not talking about the bonuses. If you're SVP, you could be making, I'm talking about millions. Go to Google's SEC documents and look at their 8Ks or the 10Ks and see how much executives are being paid. Millions of dollars. And you wonder why, you drive around into, certain neighborhoods in your city, right? You see all these houses on the hill. And you don't know who lived there. Well, I'll tell you who lives there. The people who are making that kind of money. You're like, what do they do? Well, a lot of them are leaders in companies in tech, making a shitload of money. It's out here, guys. It's out here. Amazon cloud architects are paid $90,000 to $185,000. Damn! Senior marketing jobs at Apple can pay up to $325,000. Damn! Dell will get you a six-figure salary too. Dell will get you a six-figure salary. Ask our brother Damien. Our brother Damien, a Patreon member of ours, a good brother of ours, here in Austin. I kick it with Damien often. Dell pays well. Damn! Let me say it again. Dell pays well. Damn! DoorDash, engineers, sales can make upwards of $250,000. $250,000, guys. HPE, $232,000. Damn! IBM, $335,000. Right? And in this article, again, you can dive into the specific roles. I mean, you think about a company like Instacart, right? You can jump into the article and see exactly what roles and how much they're paying, right? If you look at Instacart, engineering manager, $240,000. Senior technical program manager, so a senior technical project manager can make $215,000. Staff machine learning engineer, $215,000, right? Senior data scientist, $175,000. You can dive into each one of these rows to find out exactly how much they're making if you just go through the article. But I'll back up and I'll drop this in the chat as well too, so that you guys can have access to it to do your research on these types of salaries. All right. All right. Let's get to the last one. Now that you're making money, guys, you might want to invest into a side hustle. You might want to invest into a side hustle because you got more money. You know, you got just some money that you can, buy your first rental property. Go check out our boy Orlando. Go check out our boy Orlando. If you're looking at real estate and wanting to get into real estate, check out Orlando Minor's channel. Fabulous content creator. Good brother of ours out of St. Louis. Pocket Watching with JT. Check out his channel. Help you with your finances. Now that you're making that money, you got to learn from the others who are experts in these areas. I watch Orlando's content, and I'm already have 11 rental properties. I mean, like, I watch his content. He's the expert in it. I ask questions. I watch Pocket Watching with JT because he gives great financial advice. Good brothers. I met those brothers personally in St. Louis. But what I would say here is this. When you're making that amount of money, you can invest in other things to grow and continue to grow your earnings, guys. Real estate brings in close to $4,500 a month for me. YouTube, another $600, right? Coaching, another $1,000, right? So you think about that, having a job, having these other passive businesses, you can make a good amount of money for yourself to support yourself and support your lifestyle that you want, to save, to build wealth, to leave your legacy with your kids. Side hustles. Side hustles, side hustles, side hustles. You aren't going to do it by just making $60,000 a year, though. You're not going to have the money to invest. Okay? Ladder climb. When Annalisa Abel created an Instagram live series in early 2020 to highlight founders and career advice, she didn't know it would lead her to start a new business. Soon after, Abel launched Financial Flex. A fan contacted Abel and proposed that she join her employer as a virtual administrative assistant. By 2020, Abel had turned the role into a virtual assistant business called Elevated Assist to run on the side while she worked full time. I wake up early and work late hours, but it's a temporary sacrifice for a long-term gain. She understands that it's a sacrifice. She understands that it's temporary, but it's for a long-term gain. Abel has booked 6 figures in lifetime revenue for Elevated Assist, which Insider verified with documentation. She's part of a growing number of Americans who've adopted side hustles during the pandemic. An online survey of about 200,000 adults conducted by the work automation platform Zapier in 2020 found out that about 1 in 3 Americans have a side hustle. That's a lot, guys. It's a lot. Get your side hustle on. The lending firm Clarify Capital said that in an online survey of about 500 entrepreneurs, 72% said they started their business to make additional income. Nishank Khanna, a product and growth specialist at Clarify Capital, said it's crucial that founders know how to make money through their businesses. 3 founders, 2 of whom have booked 6 figures in revenue, shared how they created businesses with multiple revenue streams and set sustainable prices. Launch a business with low startup costs. I agree. Shauna Davis, the founder of Jedam, a handbag company, says that after entrepreneurs decide to start a side hustle, they should consult industry research to find the most cost-effective methods of product production and selling. I didn't invest a lot of money into starting up, what a lot of people get scared about, Davis said. She netted $14,000 in sales at Jedam's first 4 months in business, which Insider verified with documentation. Davis said that to grow her business without investing more than she could afford, she communicated with manufacturers to weigh her options, watch YouTube videos on quality control, sought advice from peers in the financial sector, and relied on market and industry research to determine a financing and production plan. Davis said she would purchase only 1 sample from a vendor to test it herself. If the item was up to her standards, she would purchase an entire order to put on her site. Guys, It's about research. It's about talking. It's about wanting to do it. It's about wanting to do it, putting in the work. Davidson and Bell both said market research is an important tool for setting prices. Abel said that studying competitors' rates was a valuable resource when she was developing a business model and pricing. Abel's elevated assist services started at $1,000 a month for each client. After becoming more involved and experienced in the industry, Abel increased her costs and expanded her services to include courses in a financial support membership program. She said that creating a more flexible financial plan for her clients allowed her to take on more projects and ultimately earn more money. Guys, it's about starting it, number one. Starting it. Don't say you're going to. Don't say when you're going to. Just go and do it. Create your LLC. That's the first step or whatever it is. You don't even have to create an LLC. Start the business. Have a plan. Understand what it is that you want to do. Commit to something. Create your LLC or your S Corp, whatever it is that you want to create that benefits you from a tax purposes and a business purposes perspective. Okay? And execute on it. Execute on it. You could be offering your services for free initially. You guys know what I was doing. Free consults. While I was getting certification in coaching, I was doing free consultations. You start off until you are able to build something that people want. You may start off free, or your services may be inexpensive. And when I started, I mean, like, our consultations were $29. $29. Now they're $89. That's what happens when you get better at something, when you get more confident at something, and you have less time, and people are willing to pay. They still are willing to pay, guys. So start somewhere, get it done. Generate multiple income streams. Tyra Johnson Brown, the founder of virtual assistance company, the Posh organization, said that having multiple income streams can be one of the best methods for expanding a business. She said that she earns money from service charges for her personal virtual assistant work, along with sales from her ebook, weekly planner, and other merchandise. And coming up with these other streams of income, they all have to feel aligned with the services I'm offering with my business. They're not a complete departure, she said. She added that entrepreneurs shouldn't take the focus away from their original business when launching additional products or services. I agree. Brown booked 6 figures in revenue last year with an average of $10,000 a month, according to the documents verified by Insider. Guys, that's how you do it. Side business, get started, create something, get your first client, grow, continue to revamp, reiterate. That side business start to take off. You can add things like merchandise. You can add things like coaching. You can add things like ebooks, weekly planners, music, whatever it is that you want to add to it that will help you continue to grow your income streams. So guys, that was the 4 that I wanted to touch on today. And look at that. I am right on time. That's why I like to just run through it, and then we can get to the chats after. But now it's time for that now. So guys, I'm going to start at the top. Let me do this. I'm going to read the super chats first. Brother SOBC is in the house. Our brother Kevin Tucker's in the house. Brother Anton, it's been a while. I need to schedule a session real soon. We need to catch up. Absolutely, man. I appreciate you being here. Flo OG's in the house. Thank you so much for the super chat, the $10 super chat. Good day, family. Checking in to show some love. Y'all keep crushing it. Our brother Pocket watching with JT's in the house, supporting my brother. I appreciate you, man. Pocket watching with JT. Go and check out his channel. Fantastic content. He be getting on y'all, man. He be getting on y'all people who be telling people a whole bunch of bullshit. I love it too, man. I be cracking up. And JT does it like nobody else, man. I love his style, man. Dope. Ashton says, let's show the support this morning. I appreciate the $10 super chat, my man. I appreciate the $10 super chat. Let's jump in here. Let me go through some of the chats. We got brother Darkman Jeff in the house, man. Showing some love from South Carolina. Absolutely. Our brother Jamarley's in the house. Jacob Small's in the house. Mark G's in the house. PG Thunderwheel's in the house. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Luke Garcia's in the house today. Christian says, a great idea. A personal trainer will help you get back on your game. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Gonna definitely invest in that. San Fran is real. Professor Blackout says, Professor Blackout's in the house. Internet cannabis in the house. That Blackouts. Are you saying the gender war on YouTube and entertainment can't get you into? Oh, gosh. I'm going to tell you like this, Internet cannabis. People go and live in this YouTube world of thinking that they am being associated into gender wars and how that's going to help them make more money. And they're spending their time and their energy investing their time into that sort of stuff. And they have every excuse of why they're not making the money that they want. Because they're investing in something that they have no control over. They're investing in something that they don't have control over. So, yes, investing into the gender war on YouTube and entertainment can't get you to tech. Hell no, it's not getting you to tech. Julian Brown says, nice. Mr. Wade is in the house. Don't forget, guys, to hit that like button and that subscribe button. I appreciate that, Mr. Wade. Thank you so much for the reminder. Thank you so much for the reminder. Our brother Christian's going to be coming to Texas soon, man. He texted me the other day and was like, Antoine, man, when are you going to be free this summer, man? I'm like, man, we got no plans besides going to Wisconsin. Book a trip. We'll make sure we're here for you. Dewan Nelson in the house. Is it worth it going to a boot camp? Yes, I think so. Dewan, boot camps are great. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be in one myself this year. So is it worth it? Yes. But you want to research which boot camp that you're going to make sure that it's going to give you what you want out of it. There are a lot of boot camps that exist out there, and some of them aren't worth a damn. Some of them are scams. So find one that's credible, that's worth it. And I typically suggest going to like a university or something like that. Or there are other ones that are outside of universities that will help you as well. Work your land. I'm a data analytics boot camp now, halfway done, and taking IBM data engineering with Coursera. That's fantastic, man. That is absolutely fantastic. Work your land. I love that. Congratulations to you. Ashton says, each new salary is a new floor, not a ceiling. Keep ladder climbing. I love that. Absolutely. Darkman Jeff says, man, I feel like I'm in the wrong field. IT folks definitely get into it. Darkman Jeff, man, I'm sure you can get to it, my man. I'm sure you can get to it. Mr. Nix is in the house. He dropped us the super chat, the $50 ball, paying my tithes for the message today. Been working in the background post VMware cert, but we'll catch up soon. I appreciate that, Mr. Nix. I appreciate that, Mr. Nix. Thank you so much for the super chat and always supporting this channel. And I'm going to tell you like this, guys. Mr. Nix is always on his grind. Mr. Nix, you got to send me another certification, man. I know all the stuff that you're doing. I know all the stuff that you're doing because you're busy and you're always busy. Mr. Nix has 41 certifications, guys. And he keeps adding to that every single year. Every single year. Talking about ladder climbing, he's the example of ladder climbing. He's the example of ladder climbing. He's not going to sit here and say, hey, you know what? You know, I got 41 certifications. I don't need any more. No, he likes to learn. He likes to grow. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. JB is in the house. Our brother JB is in the house. I had a conversation with JB. I think I'll be talking to JB on tomorrow as well, too. Kyle Scott says, I went to a boot camp about 4 years ago. If you dedicate yourself, it's 100,000%, or it's not 100,000, 100% worth it. More than triple my worth. Absolutely, Kyle. I appreciate that. And thank you so much for that message, my man. And let me say this. Boot camps can get you the bag, guys. Just do the research on what boot camp it is and what you want to accomplish from out of that boot camp and go to it. If it's one that is reputable, hit it, guys. Hit it, because it can get you into the tech space and make you a shitload of money very, very fast in a short amount of time versus going through a 4-year institution. So big ups, Kyle. Love that. Mr. Anton Daniels is in the house. Man, look at that. Mr. Anton Daniels came through and dropped the $100 super chat. I appreciate you, man. He said hearts, man. Look at that. My man is in the house. I was talking about you too early, Anton. I was talking about the conversation that you had on your live stream show yesterday. Me and my son was on the boat, or we're driving to get the wife and the kids. And there was a conversation going on about tech. You guys were coaching an individual. That he needs to get off YouTube and get his business plan out there. And I love the message. I absolutely love the message, Anton. You guys were like in him. You were in him. You were giving him that tough love, right? And that's the whole point of this video as well, too. It's like, no excuses, guys. Stop focusing on the things that aren't worth your time. If you're going to execute something, go and execute on it. Get away from all the garbage. But anyway, I heard the conversations as well, too, about, the cybersecurity and how some people can't make, a bunch of money in tech. And I'm telling you that they had no idea what they're talking about. No idea what they're talking about. We just went through articles after articles. I'm an example of somebody who's doing over $500,000 a year in tech, right? And I've shown that. So guys, it's out here. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't make a lot of money in the tech, because you can. You have to put a plan together, execute on that plan, and get it done. Talk to Anton. Become part of his Patreon. Book his coaching sessions. If you don't want to listen to me, talk to Pocket Watching with JT. Talk to Mr. Nix. They all have knowledge in all these spaces, guys. It doesn't have to be me. Talk to PBO. Talk to Engineering Cannabis. Talk to Brother JB. They're all getting it. They are all getting it and can give you a path on how you can execute to get to where you ultimately want to get to. That's what I want to do with this community. That's what I want to do on this channel, is to bring you exposure that you could be getting a whole bunch of money in tech. A whole bunch. I'm telling you like that. Man. Mr. Nick says, oh, Dewan, I appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much, brother. The $10 super chat. I appreciate the knowledge. Thank you. I appreciate you, Dewan. Thank you so much for coming through, man. Guys, that's all I have for you today. I appreciate each and every one of you for coming through the channel and spending time with me this morning, talking about ways that you can make it happen. No excuses 2022. That's the Black Heights Ladder Climbers motto. I started that in 2022 at the beginning of the year. We said this is going to be the year of no excuses. No excuses. If you want to get to something, you want to get somewhere, if you want to ladder climb, just execute, guys. Execute. Focus. Get off the bullshit. Get out of the bullshit. Spend your time watching people who are going to help you get there, because all the other stuff that you're consuming is not helping you get there. And I'm one of those people. Anton's one of those people. Mr. Nix is one of those people. JB, one of those people. JT is one of those people. Orlando, one of those people that are showing you that you can do things different in your life. It doesn't matter. You don't have to take the tech path. Let me say that again. You don't have to take the tech path. You can take whatever path you want to take. But ultimately, you can look at successful people and see how they operate. They're consistent. They get it done, and they don't have excuses. Guys, that's all I want to leave you with today. I appreciate each and every one of you, and you know how we do it. And until next time, y'all, peace. Shout out, guys. I appreciate you, brother Christian. I appreciate you, brother. I can't wait till you get to Texas, man. We're gonna have a good time. Anthony Arrington, man, I appreciate you, brother. Q Mason says the Black Authority, Jason Black has a great I2 boot camp. I'll check that out, Q Mason. I appreciate you, man, for shouting that out. And Jason Black, he has a fantastic channel. I catch up on his content as well. Blockavelli's in the house, coming to us from Qatar, man. Be safe, my man. You over there with all that money. I know it's safe over there, so I don't gotta tell you that. You have to say to me, be safe, man. Anton was in the house. I appreciate you, brother, man. More than you know. Work your land. I appreciate you, brother. Mr. Nix, hit me up, my man. Hit me up anytime you know you need me, I'm there. You know when you need me, I'm there. Dewan, I appreciate it, brother. Adrian Thomas, I appreciate you too, man. Kyle Scott, I appreciate you, brother. JB, Mr. Nix is in the house. Devon, Dark Man Jeff, my man Jeff coming out of South Carolina. Kevin Mark was in the house. Aston was in the house. Engineer Cannabis was in the house. PBO was in the house. Julian Brown. We had our boy Julian Brown in the house as well too, man. Pocket Watching with JT was in the house. Flo OG was in the house. Brother Kevin Tucker was in the house. SOBC, man. Long time no talk, brother. I'm glad. Hit me up. Hit me up. Hit me up. Luke Garcia. PK Thunderwold. I appreciate you, man. Mark G was in the house. Miss Wade, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for reminding me to tell people to like and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so, go ahead and get it done. Brother Menard, I appreciate you, brother. Sarita, get some rest this weekend. Anthony Arrington, awesome, man. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys.